Now it's time for another special guest. Now we have Vinesto on my line. Welcome to the Danny Sun syndicated shows here in the UK.
Hi, hello, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. How's your good self?
I'm doing pretty well.
That's good to hear during these times. So, Vinesto, can you just describe or tell my listener a bit more about yourself?
I'm Vinesto. I'm a recording artist based here in Europe. I'm from Ukraine originally. I lived there for 11 years, and then I moved to the UK to go to school and do my GCSEs to boarding school. And I started making music when I was 12, but really when I was like 16, 17.
Cool. And how did you find transitioning from one country to another when you were young? And was music always a path you always wanted to take?
Actually, no. So when I was younger, I was very much, I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but that's because probably I was like too young. And it was really difficult for me to kind of move because everything changed. And I came to the UK barely knowing the language, starting in this like huge school with like loads of different campuses and like football fields. And that was all very overwhelming to me. So I found music, which was kind of there for me to help me through like the hard times, and it was helping me feel whole in a place where I didn't have anyone to kind of fall back on. And music was very therapeutic for me.
Oh, that's good. With music as well, for some people, it can be a form of escapism as well.
Exactly. And I honestly think that that's what it was for me because it was really difficult for me to fit in with the kind of whole new school kind of agenda and because everything was like so different compared to kind of how I was used to it being back home. And music was just there for me no matter how I was feeling. And I remember I was like 11, 12, and I would watch like hours and hours of YouTube videos about like different artists and what they do with their like music and how they make their music. And I learned how to like record and how to edit and all the software. And when I was 12, I bought my first little Blue Yeti microphone. I saved up some money and I still have it here. It's like my little souvenir to kind of represent the journey.
Cool. And we just talked briefly about how you got into music growing up onto the present day. And the past few months have seen your singles, which include "Take Our Heart" and "Wish That We," and
Yes.
onto your new single as well called "Both Ways." Can you explain
Yes,
more?
both ways. Yeah. The single comes out this midnight. So it'll be Friday.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to, finally release that single. It's my favorite track on that I've released so far. I'm super excited to kind of share it with the world because it means so much to me and it speaks so loudly to me. And I hope that it can speak to, everyone who's listening.
Mm-hmm. And will there be, or has there been, a music video to accompany this new release of Both Ways?
There will be a music video and it will be featuring some pretty exciting people.
Right, we'll have to look out for that one then.
Yes, you might recognize some people from there.
Lovely. And how did you find living in this pandemic? I know it's still ongoing, but did it heavily impact your musical career? And now, would you say you're in a good place? Oh.
So when the pandemic hit, I was due to sit my GCSEs, and then they were cancelled. And then the school closed, so the first lockdown came about, and I had to leave my school, and I had to leave the boarding house, and I had to learn how to like live on my own, and that was quite difficult. There was a lot of pizza and Netflix at one point, but which is kind of like the good side of it. But in terms of making music, it was super difficult to travel because of like the quarantine and the travel restrictions, and it became so expensive at one point that it was just super hard to kind of finish the project, and it was delayed by quite a bit because of the pandemic.
And that's great that we've everyone's come through the end of the tunnel at the moment. I know it's ongoing, but at least it's better than it has. We're in a better
Oh
place
yeah,
than we have
absolutely.
been.
Yes.
So you've released a few singles under your belt. Is there a forthcoming EP or even an album on the way?
There is a cheeky album on the way. It will be coming out just as I turn 18 in, in early 2022. And it will kind of represent everything that I've been through up until I was like 18. And it's like a nice way for me to start my kind of like next chapter, or what I call Vinesto 2.0. So that's all very exciting.
Brilliant. I guess it's a nice birthday present to yourself as well on what you've
Oh, yeah,
achieved.
absolutely. Definitely.
And this question is it's just light-hearted, but if you had to rewind to a certain decade, which one would it be?
That I've lived in?
You can one decade you've lived in, or one that you wish to like visit just for the day or so.
Oh, wow. What a great question. Oh, I don't know. To be fair, it would be very sweet to go back to when I was like still
Hmm.
like 10, 9, when I was still living with my parents, because I like that was kind of the end of it. It was kind of ending at that point, and I don't think I appreciated it enough,
Hmm.
like the moments that I spent with my family, just before I moved away. So it would be nice to kind of relive a day as like young Vinesto with his parents.
Oh, that's nice. And an interesting point about music is that the music people grow up with, it has a lasting effect on their musical tastes throughout their life.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And live music as well. It's starting to open up now in places. We see the bands getting back on the road on that stage. Finally, how crucial is it to keep this live music alive around the world, not just Europe?
I I think it's so important because, well, for me, the most exciting part about the music industry has always been the connection you can form with people at like shows, festivals, and the connection that an artist forms with a fan, or a fan with an artist. It's just such a strong kind of flow of energy. And to me, that's always been the most amazing feeling. I remember some of like my first concerts and shows that I went to, just standing there being overwhelmed by the sounds, the way it looks, the performance, feeling like you're not living in real life, as in you're just somewhere else and you're able to connect with this person who's on stage. To me, that's always been such an amazing feeling.
It's just powerful thinking about it. Whether you're like a DJ or a solo artist or in a band, you're creating a moment for people to meet and connect to each other, and then they go on to fall in love, get married, have families, and have babies. And
Yeah,
to be part of that is something special. That creating memories.
absolutely. Yeah.
And are you on all social medias where people can follow you?
Yes, I am. I'm mostly on Instagram, where you can find me
Yeah.
by the handle Vinesto Music. I'm also on TikTok from time to time, where I'm a bit funky, where it's a bit of a different side of Vinesto. But Instagram has all my updates with everything that's coming out soon and all the exciting announcements.
Brill. Well, Vinesto, thank you so much for joining me on today's show. We're going to get your new single played here on the airwaves, right here, right now, on the Danny Cern UK syndicated shows. And best of luck with everything you do from here in
Thank
the
you so
UK.
much. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All the best.
Have a all the best. Have a great day.